We are coming to you live from the Republic Broadcasting Network, where you can handle the truth. Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Tonight, we discuss eyes only, electromagnetic weapons used in the U.S. But first, joining TM is free, which stands for Targeted Massachusetts. Just go to targetedmassachusetts.org, and at the top of the page, go to Join TM. Please complete the easy registration form. By joining, you receive our newsletter, text updates, and the latest developments in our targeted situation. While on that page, you can donate to TM and help us to continue our activism. You can use PayPal or your normal MasterCard, Visa, bank card, whatever, and we really would appreciate it. We are a legal organization in the state of Massachusetts. If you have any questions, call me anytime in the U.S. at 1-508-857-8334. Call into the show live and ask a question at 800-313-9443. Or you can listen at 605-313-0163. If you would like to listen to Kevin Annett and his 25-year struggle against the Canadian government, listen to him at 6 p.m. Eastern at bbsradio.com/Here We Stand. Targeted Justice is a very stellar organization. You can join Targeted Justice by filling out their affidavit, and you will become a member of one of the best organizations that we can offer. Their website is targetedjustice.com. Targeted Massachusetts Northeast Conference airs Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern. And as a matter of fact, it is in session and airing right now. Access by phone, 515-604-9715. Access code, 708-922. ID, targeted. If you'd like to join us by computer, in your address bar, type freeconferencecall.com/wall/targeted. Our YouTube channel is Targeted Massachusetts. We have a chat associated with this show at targetedmass.chatango.com. For those of you who are interested, one of the most important things going on today on our Earth is the Schumann resonance. A week ago today, it was 158 hertz. The nominal reading should be 7.83 hertz. Today, the reading is 60 hertz. All week long, it has been 70. Tonight, we are presenting a work by Momir Babek. And since it really doesn't have a title, and this is part of it, I call it Eyes Only. We bring to our readers this carefully documented review article. While the text deals with a number of complex scientific processes, the implications of these findings are far-reaching. The arsenal of electromagnetic and informational weapons used to manipulate the human mind of targeted individuals or the populace is an integral part of the weapon systems of the New World Order. The U.S. military possesses a sophisticated arsenal of psychotronic weapons which could be used both domestically and internationally. Electromagnetic and informational weapons could be used in conventional war theaters without the knowledge of the enemy. Okay, the word enemy comes up here continually. I know that myself, along with 90% of the TIs, believes that this is the United States government. I'd like to throw something out there. China, I've recently discovered, has mind control satellites. And I would like to add who is and has always been the largest enemy of the United States and its people. That would be China. And Russia, a close second. So, rather than cast shadows on our own country, I would love to see this be China. And I can tell you how they would do it. They can register a website just as easily as we can, and they can make it look Western or American. They can make it sound Western or American. And it's one of these sites on the dark web that says, you want to get back at your neighbor? Join here, or something to that effect. And that will take you to a targeting screen, which is linked to their satellite. That's just something to think about. It is therefore essential that we do not only take cognizance of these findings, but we mobilize nationally and internationally against the use of brain manipulating technologies. Michael Shasudovsky, 5th August 2004. In October 2000, Congressman Dennis J. Kucinich introduced in the House of Representatives a bill which would oblige the American president to engage in negotiations aimed at the ban of space-based weapons. In this bill, the definition of a weapon system included any other unacknowledged or as yet undeveloped means of inflicting death or injury on, or damaging or destroying a person, or the biological life, bodily health, mental health, or physical and economic well-being of a person through the use of what? Land-based, sea-based, or space-based systems using radiation, electromagnetic, psychotronic, sonic, laser, or other energies directed at individual persons or targeted populations for the purpose of information war, mood management, or mind control of such persons or populations. Papa, you want to comment?
No. Well, got me off guard there. No, I was actually taking a lot of notes here because I want to look up. You said Congressman Dennis J. Kucich?
Yeah, Kucinich.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be looking that one up.
Okay. I will carry on then.
Yeah, please.
As in all legislative acts quoted in this article, the bill pertains to sound, light, or electromagnetic stimulation of the human brain. These are facts. This is not fallacy. This isn't out of Popular Science magazine. This is real. This was presented to our government, to our president. Psychotronic weapons belong, at least for a layman uninformed of secret military research, in the sphere of science or science fiction, since so far none of the published scientific experiments has been presented in a meaningful way to world public opinion. That it is feasible to manipulate human behavior with the use of subliminal, either by sound or visual messages, is now generally known and acknowledged by the scientific community. This is why in most countries, the use of such technologies without the consent of the individual concerned is in theory banned. Needless to say, the use of these technologies is undertaken covertly, without the knowledge or consent of targeted individuals. Now I'm going to throw something else out there for you to think about. I'm going to use the M16 assault rifle, which is standard equipment for the United States soldier in all branches of the military. How long did it take the M16 to get to the public as an AR-15? My point, this technology may have leaked all the way down to the private citizen. This is another thought. So, with this, people that are burned almost to death, like Midge Mathis, may be the victim of someone who does not know how to use it. In plain English, a neighbor could be someone that you've had a fight with, a fist fight, or an argument. Could be anyone. So that's another angle to throw out there. Not to confuse you, but to bring you up to speed. Devices using light for the stimulation of the brain constitute another mechanism whereby light flashing under certain frequencies could be used to manipulate the human psyche. As for the use of sound, a device transmitting a beam of sound waves, which can be heard only by persons, the beam of sound waves was intended, has been reported in several news media. In this case, the beam is formed by a combination of sound and ultrasound waves, which causes the targeted person to hear the sound inside his head. Okay, I'd like to strike that because V2K is not heard inside of your head. It is heard around you, like you had a whirling dermish of sound rotating around you. V2K can be heard in the corner of the room, in a lamp, anywhere. So that's my disagreement there, through experience of my own and the thousands of writings of TIs with V2K and the texts and phone calls. Such a procedure could affect the mental balance of the targeted individual, as well as convince him that he is, so to speak, mentally ill. I can't tell you how many times targets have checked themselves into mental facilities for this reason. They cannot understand it. They cannot rationalize it. They cannot logically look at it. So, at that point in time, it is their understanding that they need help, when in fact it is. Okay, thank you for listening. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Folks, we're living in a world the likes of which we've never perceived any clearer than we do now. The plan for global governance has been in the works for generations and would have likely been achieved by now but for the fact that the globalists left open their Achilles heel. With all their tools, Federal Reserve System, fiat currency, no child left behind, and then Common Core education introduced to our schools to dumb us down, vaccines, pharmaceuticals to lobotomize us, GMO foods, insertion of compromised or bought and paid for politicians, judges, mainstream media propaganda, all pieced together like a puzzle designed to ultimately bring the world under submission. But with all their strategy, they forgot one thing: knowledge. And knowledge is power. With knowledge, their bombardment is nullified. Folks, with that, as brilliant and knowledgeable as you've become, among the wisest audience of any radio audience in the world, and you are, I want you to take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, how much of that knowledge did I obtain from Republic Broadcasting Network? How high has my consciousness been raised since I've been a listener? How fast am I now able to discriminate truth from fake news by being a Republic Broadcasting listener? How clear am I now able to see the world since I've been listening to RBN? Ask yourselves those questions, folks. Then ask yourself, what is that knowledge worth to me? Like my morning coffee, how would I survive without it? A voice of truth in a sea of lies. Do we not all need to make sure it survives? Like public broadcasting, we are now finding we can only survive with listener support. Censorship, advertisers being attacked, truth itself being attacked. It's the only way through this. We at Republic Broadcasting humbly ask you to become a supporter. Look at your budget and make a determination of what Republic Broadcasting is worth to you and what you can afford on a monthly basis. Go to republicbroadcasting.org and pledge $20, $30, $40, $50, if possible, $100 a month or more if it's affordable. Click the donate button and become a regular monthly donor. Assure both us and yourself that Republic Broadcasting truth will continue to flow like that morning coffee. The network thanks you.
Hey, honey, I'm home. I grabbed the newspaper on the way home. Look at all the news today.
The newspaper? Don't you know that all you're going to get in the newspaper is propaganda, twisted news, and false information?
Honey, this is a national newspaper. It has to be true.
Ha! For some reason, a majority of the population believe anything the mainstream media tells them. The newspaper does not give out the important attention on what's happening to this country and news that affects our daily lives. Say, does that newspaper mention anything about the North American Union?
No, not that I can see.
I didn't think so. You need to go to www.newswithviews.com, where truth is more important than political correctness. That's www.newswithviews.com. Hey, don't throw that away. We can use that in the birdcage.
Okay, move over. Let me start reading newswithviews.com.
The truth? Read all about it at newswithviews.com. Newswithviews.com, where reality shatters illusion.
We are coming live from Public Broadcasting Network, where you can handle the truth. And I'd like to thank the owner of the station, John Stadmiller, and my producer, Mike S., for making this possible. This is real news from credible sources beyond reproach. From scientists, from universities. This is the real news. Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Tonight, we discuss eyes only. This article examines the development of technologies and knowledge pertaining to the functioning of the human brain and the way new methods of manipulation of the human mind are being developed. Electromagnetic energy. One of the main methods of manipulation is through electromagnetic energy. Already in 1974, the USSR, after successful testing within a military unit in Novosibirsk, the radio sun, or radio sleep, was registered with the Government Committee on Matters of Inventions and Discoveries of the USSR. Described as a method of induction of sleep by means of radio waves. In the scientific literature, technical feasibility of inducing sleep in a human being through the use of radio waves is confirmed in a book by a British scientist involved in research on the biological effects of electromagnetism. A report by the World Health Organization on Non-Ionizing Radiation, published in 1991, confirms that many of the biological effects observed in animals exposed to ELF fields appear to be associated either directly or indirectly with the nervous system. Among the published experiments, there are those where pulsed microwaves have caused synchronization of isolated neurons with the frequency of pulsing of microwaves. For example, a neuron firing at a frequency of 0.8 hertz was forced in this way to fire the impulses at a frequency of 1 hertz. Moreover, the pulsed microwaves contributed to changing the concentration of neurotransmitters in the brain and reinforcing or attenuating the effects of drugs delivered into the brain. The experiment where the main brain frequencies registered by EEG were synchronized with the frequency of microwave pulsing might explain the function of the Russian installation radiosonde. Microwaves pulsed in the sleep frequency would cause the synchronization of the brain's activity with the sleep frequency, and in this way produce sleep. Pulsing of microwaves in frequency predominating in the brain at an awakened state could, by the same procedure, deny sleep to a human being. How many TIs complain of sleep deprivation? This is something that you would hear coming from a concentration camp. But it exists here with targeted individuals in the United States of America. A report derived from testing of the Microwave Research Department at the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research states microwave pulses appear to couple to the central nervous system. Okay, folks, we have to go to station ID. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Don't believe the church and state and everything they tell you. Believe in me, I'm with the high command. Can you hear me?
You are tuned in to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Visit our website by going to republicbroadcasting.org.
Talk Right, the conservative app offered by TalkStream Live that caters exclusively to the conservative talk radio community. Here you'll see only talk shows and podcasts from the conservative right. All the big broadcast names and online digital shows in one place. Talk Right makes it easy to find all your favorite conservative talkers with all the upscale features you come to expect from TalkStream Live. Keep up with the fast-paced political world. Download Talk Right today from Google Play or the App Store.
Hey, is that a new music app?
Yeah, check it out. Surfer Music Discovery. It links to thousands of online stations, but the twist is you see the song names and artists that are now playing live.
That's different. No guessing. Looks like a waterfall of music.
So many formats. Rock, oldies, country, R&B, jazz, and a whole lot more.
How's that spelled?
Surfer. S-U-R-F-R.
Is it expensive?
It's free. No need to sign up or sign in.
Get the Surfer Music app free from Google Play or the App Store.
Many people tell us about their experience with Extendivite. Just listen to what Glenn has to say.
Prior to taking it, I had diabetic neuropathy. The Extendivite reduced that significantly. Acid reflux was reduced. I had athlete's foot, very severe. Trimmed that down to about 75%. Dandruff, almost completely gone. I had occipital neuralgia at the base of my skull. I was having migraines, reduced by about 90%. Heart palpitations, my heart would kind of stall out. I would skip a beat. Very uncomfortable. And when walking from downstairs going to sleep, by the time I got to the bedroom, which is just one flight of stairs, my heart was pounding, coming out of my chest. My vision was blurry. This completely solved that problem. Great product. Thanks.
Tell us your story. Get Extendivite today. Call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Tired of being lied to by mass media? It's growing more and more apparent today that news is received less and less through standard media outlets. Even with a growing audience every day, RBN is beginning to direct more efforts into social media. Social media and the use of the internet is fast becoming the primary source of people for news, regardless of demographic. RBN has set out to provide some of the best news on the internet through republicbroadcasting.org, and also has begun to use the tools to our advantage by way of social media. Republic Broadcasting is now operating a Facebook page to function as yet another avenue to have our collective voice reach new audiences across not only America, but across the globe as well. The Facebook page features not only news, but also an RBN player to listen to our broadcast. Get involved by visiting facebook.com/Republic Broadcasting and liking our page and share it with your friends and family, because you can handle the truth.
Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Tonight, we discuss eyes only. And the reason it's eyes only is because that's exactly what it is. We don't hear any of this. We don't hear about it. The only thing that we've heard is in the war against Iraq, the voice of God weapon was used. Well, let me get back to this. Eyes only. In a many-time replicated experiment, microwaves pulsed in an exact frequency caused the efflux of calcium ions. Now, calcium plays a crucial role in the firing of neurons. And Ross Adey, member of the first scientific team which published this experiment, publicly expressed his conviction that this effort of electromagnetic radiation would interfere with concentration on complex tasks. Robert Becker, who had share in the discovery of the effect of pulsed fields at the healing of broken bones, published the excerpts from the report from Walter Reed Army Institute testing program. In the first part, debilitating effects should have been tested. Were not those effects based on the experiment by Ross Adey and others with calcium efflux? British scientist John Evans, working in the same field, wrote that both Ross Adey and Robert Becker lost their positions and research grants and called them free-thinking exiles. In 1975, in the United States, a military experiment was published where pulsed microwaves produced in the brain of a human subject an audio perception of numbers from 1 to 10. Again, the possibility to convince an individual that it is mentally ill is obvious. The testing program of American Walter Reed Army Institute of Research, where the experiment took place, counts with auditory stimulation by means of auditory effects, and finally aims at behavior controlled by stimulation. Let us assume that the words delivered into the brain were transcribed into ultrasound frequencies. Would not then the subject perceive those same words as his own thoughts? And would this not imply that this behavior was being controlled in this way through the transmission of ultrasound frequencies? In this regard, the American Air Force 1982 final report on biotechnology research requirements for aeronautical systems through the year 2000 states, while initial attention should be paid toward degradation of human performance through thermal loading and for bright electromagnetic field effects, subsequent work should address the possibilities of directing and interrogating mental functioning using externally applied fields. Several scientists have warned that the latest advances in neuropsychology or neurophysiology could be used for the manipulation of the human brain. Okay, Papa, I think we can comment here for a while and discuss what I've been talking about. And it's basically this, and that is the fact that this has been worked on in laboratories by people for years upon years, decades upon decades.
So, Frank, let me ask, as I've mentioned, that I tend to be more in the gang stalking, the theater phase, although I've questioned, other physical things that have happened. And I've mentioned before, the pulse microwaves that you're talking about, I sometimes get where my brain feels like it's pulsing, like an energy charge. Is that what you're referring to in some sense? And then my thoughts get a little distorted. My anxieties go way up. It seems like I get hit with a lot of visuals, a lot of street theater, and then these pulses I feel happening, and my emotions tend to get out in front of me. Is that because the eyes only, the electromagnet, the V2K, all of that is I'm not sure I'm there yet.
Okay, let's hope you never get there. But what they're trying to get across here, if you will, is the fact that a pulsed microwave, pulsed at a certain frequency, will in fact have an effect on your brain in certain areas, and certain cells will pulse at the same rate, as explained in this case, inducing sleep in the Russian experiment.
Okay. Could that be oversleeping? Because there are times, my whole life I've been a normal sleeper, but this past 2 years with the increased street theater and what I call red phase, my sleep is now 12 to 14 hours some nights.
Okay,
some days,
that is normal for a true TI, in that your brain is now being used, if you will, by 2 or more other individuals who are injecting thoughts, injecting subliminal messages, and they are using your brain. So you are very likely a victim. And I am sorry to say that sleeping 12 to 14 hours is not unheard of with TIs, because they are beat to hell. We get the holy ass beat off us every time that we get into a battle with the perps. Their battles are strategically aimed, date and time, and they normally precede my broadcasts. And I have been chewed up and beat to death sometimes during these broadcasts, and you may hear once in a while a little lack of input, because they have actually overloaded my brain. And you can always tell if you are super overloaded, you will get in the corners of your eyes a multicolored display that will gradually overtake your field of vision. And its properties are bright colors, usually red, green, yellow sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think red, green, yellow, and blue. And my doctor said that you are stressed out, you are overloaded, get some sleep, stop whatever you are doing. Of course, naturally, I was on that night. But I am trying to get this word out at all costs. But you want to watch out for that. Somebody told me how to stop it, but it's a dangerous procedure for the individual. And that's to flash a camera in your eyes. And it did stop it immediately.
Okay.
And I was go ahead.
Just sitting here now listening, those pulses that I'm getting are coming in, and I've been sitting here just writing them down in the pattern. And it's like a tot, 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 tot. But it feels electrical in my head, but it's also audible. I feel the pulse, but I hear it too. It's very faint, like it's inside my head. And it's a tot, tot, tot,
okay.
Tot, and it's a pulse. Has anybody else experienced that?
Richard Lighthouse will tell you that if you place your hand on the back of your head in a certain area, you will feel this pulse, averaging 1 every second. And he did it with a group of people, and everyone in the group concurred that this was actually happening. So that is how we have come to the conclusion that we are in fact being tracked by satellite.
I'm doing it now and I can feel it.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So now, does this differ from subliminal messaging that is done for the hypnotic effect to eventually ruin who we are, to ruin?
The subliminal messaging, you will find they use to try and derail you from doctor's appointments, dentist's appointments, appointments with the hospital for scans and whatnot, appointments for legal representation, appointments for anything that makes a difference and will better your life.
So would that be like, okay, 3 days ago, I had called back to an attorney's office that had already spoken to me and wanted me to do a follow-up this week. And I'd called, made the appointment. And then the next day, 5 hours prior to, every hour on the hour up until the last hour, and then it was every 15 minutes, I was reminding myself to make that call. And the next thing I knew, it was 3 hours later. I had forgotten 15 minutes. I had reminded myself 15 minutes prior to the appointment time at 2:30 my time, and I blanked it all of a sudden. I mean, it was almost 3 hours later that I went, oh, my God.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I couldn't. Even my wife was like, "How could you forget it?" Because you kept reminding yourself, and then you got down to where you were reminding yourself every 15 minutes, and then the next thing you know, it was 3 hours later, and I had blanked it for over almost 3 hours.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like, unfortunately, you are receiving some portion of it, and let's hope that it just stays the way it is. There are different types of targeting. Some people experience remote neural monitoring and V2K, we'll say voice to skull together. Others do not get the voice to skull. They get the subliminal information. And I have to talk to some more people that do get just the subliminal information and interview them to see exactly what is going on, like yourself. And it seems that you are on the edge of blackness, if you will. I can't think of anything else, and I'm going to spend some more time with you here because we're about 10 minutes out, and we need to spread the word and just keep on. A lot of people will say, oh, well, you just went to Washington or something like that, or you just did this. And they'll say, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Then I say, what were you doing? You know, the people have to get up off their backsides and realize that we're not going to do it for you. We're going to help the movement. But we can't do it for you. We need you. We need all the people that we can get so that when there is a gathering in Washington, we will be well represented. And this is paramount to the achievements that we want to make. We have to have numbers. I've been saying this for years. I think I would probably crawl there at this point in time because it is just so important for the powers in the White House to see these numbers out in front. with the signs, with the banners, passing out flyers. These are things that we have to do. We have to get more organized. We have to have leaders that can organize in their area. We have to have leaders that will organize on a national level. And we have to have leaders that will organize on an international level with leaders of other countries, such as the UK, Switzerland, Australia, Japan. It's no problem speaking, because you instantly get what was I going to say? I'm just trying to read a text here. You instantly get a translation. So it's not like when you talk to somebody in Japan, most of them have someone that will help you understand the conversation. Emails, there's no question, there's a translation. Are you still with me?
I'm still with you. Still with you. I'm listening. And writing madly, taking notes, because you always give me a lot to look up. And I recommend that to everyone that listens to this show, is that when, Frank drops these names and dates and subject matters, is that you research as much as you can. Use multiple browsers, because you may not be accessing the real web, but to research.
Like in May of 1999, they had a symposium, if you will, sponsored by the UN in Tokyo. And they acknowledge that today we have intellectual, physical, and financial resources to master the power of the brain itself, and to develop devices to touch the mind and even control or erase consciousness. We wish to profess our hope that such pursuit of knowledge serves peace and welfare. On the international political scene in the last few years, the concept of remote control of the human brain has become a matter of international and intragovernmental negotiation. This is in 1999. In January 1999, the European Parliament passed a resolution where it called for an international convention introducing a global ban on all developments and deployments of weapons which might enable any form of manipulation of human beings. So, if you look back and you start to research, you will find that there has been concern of the extreme nature about what is going on. The problem, in 1999, we had very little World Wide Web contacts. Today, we can find out information in any country we want to instantly. So, that being said, all of this is known. All of this has been presented. And if you look at Japan, that wrote the document that I just read, they are very much out in the open about this. Although they have people in their country that are being attacked. So this is where I want to put it out there again. Is this the U.S. that's doing this, or are U.S. citizens being attacked by a common enemy? Because I will tell you this, on our 200th anniversary in 1976, the Russians fired up Chernobyl to 105%, funneled that energy into the Duga antenna array, and with gigawatts sent mind control or mind obliteration waves to the West. That's documented. That's true. You can look it up. Everything on here that I bring up is not fallacy. It's the truth. So people, you better get up and start doing something about it before it's too late. Democracy will disappear. And we will be under the constraints of a digital monarchy. So how'd you like to have a computer run your life? Okay, I would like to say good night from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen.
Corporate media dominates the American opinion. Finding independent voices that counter this avalanche is becoming increasingly difficult. With the endless corruption running rampant throughout our government, independent voices are needed more than ever to battle the offensive against our freedoms and liberties. As a listener of RBN, no one understands this concept better than you. Now it's up to you to do your part. The time has come for you to take action and begin broadcasting the truth to hundreds or thousands of people every month. Sound impossible? Quite the contrary. With pointed slogans from LibertyStickers.com, you can reach countless sleeping Americans unaware that they live in a real-life wonderland. LibertyStickers.com has a huge inventory of political bumper stickers and messages that reflect the truth about our government, our politicians, and the future of America. With so many in stock, there's one perfect for you. Visit us today at LibertyStickers.com. Again, that's LibertyStickers.com. Do your part. Your voice is important. Let it be heard.
You're listening to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Because you can handle the truth. 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 Can